Fancy. Hey everyone, welcome back. Well, today I want to show you something that I've been working on, and it's something I wanted to try for a very long time. And it really doesn't have a place in a restored vehicle, but for hot rods, race cars, that kind of stuff, or other projects. Engine tuning, engine turning, not tuning, we're not tuning anything today. Engine turning or jeweling, a way to embellish metal and whatnot for like dashboards and whatnot, something I've always wanted to try. So I've taken a stab at it, and I'm going to walk you through some of my processes and some of the things I've tried that really worked, and some of them that worked kind of okay-ish, right? So this is a test piece that I started working on, and I used a couple of different methods, and I've did a little checking online. Some people use wire brushes like this, and they'll put a zip tie on here to keep the bristles nice and tight together, but I didn't really like how the pattern came out. And now this is done dry. These ones here were done with a little bit of compound with it. It came out okay. I mean, it's not bad. That's a nice big, pattern. Not bad. Over here, on this side, I tried doing with a wooden dowel. Just a piece of wood. And it worked with the compound that I used, which I'll show you guys in a minute. But you can see there's a shiny spot right there. Yeah, the metal really built up right on that spot, and wood right in the center as well. And you kind of don't get an even pattern here. Okay. I also tried taking a piece of, the scuff pad, glued it to the end of a old door hinge pin, and that worked okay. But I did that dry. Where did I do that at? Over here, maybe? Yeah, it didn't come out great. So, it's okay. But here, on this spot here, I used a buff. Let me show you. So this is what I used on this one here. It's just a basic, buff. This is probably like a 3/8. That's what I have one here. I had 2 of those. And you can use different sizes if you want to. I bought one of these assorted kits off of one of the online websites, and they come in different sizes. You get a whole bunch of them, but this is what worked pretty good. And I used some valve lapping compound I had laying around. I mean, this stuff worked really good, right? Drill press. Now, on this piece here, oh, this is a spare one. Hold on. On this one here, I started doing overlapping circles and alternating half and half, half and half. And I just wanted to try and use this as a practice piece to get my pressure down, how long to hold it, that kind of stuff. And make sure I had my process correct for moving my setup here. Because the goal is you want to have, nice and evenly spaced rows so it looks nice. So what I did was, zoom in here a little bit. I got kind of a inch ruler here. It's very thin. It's taped down to this piece here. And I have just a square that I can use to put it tight up against the table here, and using this ruler I can go this way and even number of marks, and depends on how big your buffs are and how much overlap you want. I was doing like 1/4 inch, so I moved a 1/4 inch at a time. And I move it this way because you have the marks on the square. So you could, go this way. You start in here and overlap by eye. And then I unclamp it, move it over, and then do another row going this way. Let me walk you through it. This is a piece of not aluminum, this is stainless steel, and it's a little scratched up. But just for today's purposes of showing you the process, let me show you. Here's another one I did just as a test, but let me do a few more here, show you how I do this. All right, so I reset the square so it's on my beginning mark here for the overlap I'm going to use for this buff. I'm just going to take some of this and smear it on here just evenly, as even as I can, coming across. So I'm not going to go all the way across this piece for you today. I'm going to do like a couple of rows just so you can see how I go left and right and then back and forth. Put that down. All right. I'm going to start by lining up right on the edge of the metal and the buff and holding it tight to the square. We'll kick it on. We'll do one, and then I'll move it over a 1/4 inch, like half overlap, so that way the center swirl is right on the edge of this. And then I'll do like a few more, and then I'll move this back a 1/4 inch, come back, do a half overlap like right there, and then move my way down. Show you how it's done. All right, now when I put the pressure down, I'm holding it for maybe 4 or 5 seconds at a time, keeping pressure right on there, and it comes up with a nice swirl. So the clamp on. All right, let's do the next row. And you just repeat. Move it over another 1/4 inch, do another row, move it over the 1/4, and so on. But that's the basic pattern on how you do it. Now you can do more overlap or less overlap depending on what kind of pattern you're looking for. So let's wipe this off and show you what we got. Pretty cool. I like this style of embellishment, and it's something I've always wanted to try, and I'm glad I did. So this is one we just did with the stainless steel, and that came out pretty good. I like that one. This is the practice piece I had done before. But let me show you something else. This is one that I'm going to use for a switch plate. This piece of aluminum that I took time to sand down, polish up a little bit. And then I'm going to trim this, drill a hole so I can put a switch through it. Pretty neat. So that's one I've already done I'm going to use. But let me show you a couple more things. I mean, you've seen aluminum, stainless steel. How about copper? Same thing. This is the buff with the compound. Wait a minute. Let me get a better picture here. Hold on. There we go. Pretty neat. Nice pattern. I like that. Want to see something else? How about chrome? This is an old tip I had on the car years ago. And with the buff and the compound, came out pretty cool. I just did it as a test. Not that I'm ever going to use this on a car again, but I like it. It really worked out well. Now this is what I'm going to use to make for a switch cover. This is actually going to go on the slot car track. I want a power switch to cut power to the track. So I have an old voltage regulator cover that I can stuff the wires in, drill a hole. I'm going to put this on, put a switch through it, and I think it's going to look pretty cool just, embellishing this. So to do that, I'm going to put a little blue tape across the jeweling to not scratch it all up, and then we'll cut this to the right size and put it on. Well, this is the finished product. I think it looks pretty cool. So that has a lot of different uses, learning how to engine turn or jewel metal like that. I mean, see, you can do it on anything, you know, copper, aluminum, stainless steel, what have you. You know, you saw, did the chrome, that'll work. If you have just bare sheet metal, just bare steel, you could do it to that as well. It'll still come out looking pretty cool. You know, and uses are anything. I mean, you've seen like 32 deuce coupes, hot rods, things like that. Dashes are done. You can do panels for your well, for your car, for your 65, 66, 67, whatever. I mean, this is a nice little plate I made just for this switch cover. Whatever you can think of, you can do this with. Now, I watched another video online where these old timers were just, they oiled up their metal with just like old school 3-in-1 oil, sprinkled some black sandblast media on top of that, and used like a 3/4 inch wood dowel, and they made big swirls, but it worked. You know, it all depends on what you want to do, how big you want to do it, and your pattern can be anything. I mean, I just did a simple, you know, half overlap, you know, with simple rows, but I mean, you can go with bigger ones, bigger overlaps, you know, however you choose to do it. I used the valve grinding compound, worked great. You can use toothpaste. It's an abrasive. Whatever you have, you can use, you know, metal polish, whatever you want to choose to use. So far, I like the buffs. They work really well on the softer media like this. You might want to try something different with, you know, harder metal like steel. But that's where we're at. So, yeah, engine turning, metal jeweling. Not too bad. Hey folks, smash that like button. If you like what we're doing here on the channel, please consider subscribing, and I'll catch you next time.